He used to think the market was his biggest enemy. The volatility, the red candles, the sudden reversals. They seemed like personal attacks. But over time, he realized something far more dangerous than price action, his own mind. He wasn't losing because of the chart. He was losing because of the war inside him. The impatience, the panic, the greed. Every morning he sat in front of multiple screens, hoping today he'd be different, more focused, more in control. But control isn't a wish, it's a habit, and his habits were built on fear. He'd win big on Monday, feel invincible, then lose it all by Wednesday, chasing something that wasn't even real. His breathing changed with every candle. His heartbeat raced when the price moved against him. His confidence shattered with every loss. He thought he needed better indicators, but what he needed was emotional awareness. When the market paused, his mind screamed. When it dropped, he collapsed. When it rose, he got reckless. He began to question everything, not the strategy, not the broker, but himself. He wondered why he felt so controlled by pixels on a screen, why small losses felt like personal failures. And that's when he heard it, not from a mentor, not from a video, but from the silence. It's not the market you're fighting, it's your mind. He stopped trading for a while, not because he quit, but because he finally started learning. He read about psychology, about habits, about emotional intelligence, and suddenly, trading made more sense. He wasn't broken, he was untrained, and no one had taught him how to trade with his emotions, not just with his mouse. He started meditating, journaling, walking before trades. At first it felt weak, but it was the strongest thing he'd ever done. Because the real resistance wasn't on the chart, it was inside his chest.
And when he faced that, everything began to change.
He learned that silence wasn't emptiness, it was control. And that control, it had always been available. He just never knew where to look. I used to think discipline was about forcing myself to sit still, but now I know. It's about knowing when to pause and when to act. Trading exposed every crack in my mindset, every insecurity, every impulse I tried to hide. I blamed the market for my anxiety, but the truth? The market just revealed what was already inside me. There were moments I felt addicted to chaos. I needed something to move, or I didn't feel alive. And that's what made me dangerous, not to others, but to myself. I started realizing that patience is not just a skill, it's emotional armor. Every time I entered too early, I was escaping discomfort. Every time I held too long, I was chasing validation. The chart was a mirror, and I didn't like what I saw. So I stopped looking for perfect entries and started looking inward. The moment I became aware of my breathing during a trade, everything shifted. When I exhaled slowly, I could wait. I could think. I could see clearly. The market didn't slow down. I did. And in that stillness, I found power. Not to control the outcome, but to control myself. I started saying no to setups I used to chase. Not because they were bad, but because I wasn't stable. I built rituals, silence before opening the platform, gratitude after closing it. I rewired my reactions. And slowly the wins came. Not just financial, but emotional. I felt peace during losses. I felt neutral during wins. I felt me again. Because trading isn't about being right. It's about staying calm enough to make the right call. Now, Every trade begins with a question. Am I clear or am I emotional? And if the answer is emotional, I don't click. I breathe. You're not just trading assets, you're trading against your own mind, every minute. You already know the strategy. You've studied enough, watched enough. But have you studied you? The market doesn't punish you. Your reactions do. Every bad trade started as a good trade, ruined by fear, greed, or revenge. So stop looking for the perfect setup and start looking at your mental setup. You don't need more charts, you need more calm. You don't need to click faster, you need to slow your mind down. Before you click next time, pause, breathe, ask, is this me or my emotion clicking? Train your nervous system, not just your strategy. Because if your mind is chaotic, the chart will always look dangerous. But when your mind is still, even volatility becomes opportunity. Control isn't found in execution. It's found in awareness before execution. The world won't wait for you to calm down, but the market, it rewards those who do. Be the calmest person in the storm, not by suppressing, but by observing. Discipline isn't rules, it's self-respect in motion. You're not weak for feeling scared, you're human, but you're responsible for what you do with that fear. There's a trader inside you who doesn't flinch, doesn't chase, doesn't panic. That trader appears not when you win, but when you wait. The question isn't, can you trade? It's, can you stay emotionally clear while you trade? Because in this game, emotional intelligence isn't optional. It's everything.